If you're watching this video, you can see my cat sleeping next to me, and I really hope he compensates the fact that I don't have a background, that this office is still blank, and yeah, he's cute enough, right? He can compensate for the fact that we don't have a scenario for the videos, but very soon, it's one of my big plans for this year. It's to start my beautiful office. So wait for it. Wait for it. For now, you can just watch him take a nap from his very exhausting day. He's accommodating so he can listen to the episode too. Welcome, welcome to a new episode. Today, oh my God, he's taking a bath now. Sorry for the scene. Welcome to this episode. Today, I want to talk about music. I want to talk about how much music changes my brain chemistry. Oh my God. It's something that I've been thinking a lot about. Okay, let me change my camera right here. It's something that I've been thinking about like a lot lately, and I want to talk about it. I want to talk about all the times that I've noticed how much music changes my brain chemistry. And I want to know if you relate to that. But yeah, welcome to a new episode. A gente usa esse podcast aqui toda quarta-feira para você treinar o seu inglês com bate-papo, com os temas mais aleatórios possíveis. E no meio desse blá 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 todo, eu estou sempre ensinando expressões novas em inglês. Independente do quanto você consegue entender, é uma ferramenta muito, muito útil para você treinar o seu listening. E é isso, assim, aqui na Wave a gente tem vários conteúdos gratuitos para você poder manter o seu inglês em dia. Inclusive, agora a gente tem uma newsletter toda segunda e toda sexta lá no aplicativo Substack, que você também pode receber por e-mail. Mas para descobrir tudo que a gente tem, todo o nosso ecossistema, assim, da fluência, que, inclusive com muitas coisas gratuitas para você treinar. Para você descobrir tudo isso, você tem que ir lá no nosso Instagram, @wavefluency, para conhecer aí, entender tudo que o mundinho da Wave tem para te oferecer. Mas é isso, porque aqui a gente acredita que quando o inglês vira hobby e fica leve, é aí que a fluência acontece. Então, tô aqui para te ajudar com isso. And if you like this podcast and if you are a frequent listener, please share this podcast with someone that practices English, that speaks English, that you think would love to have something to practice their listening to. Okay? But yeah, let me talk about today's topic. If you know me, you know I'm a stressed person. Because I am a stressed person in general, I'm a very, I don't know, I feel like I'm an angry person. But when I'm talking about stress, I mean that I'm a very agitated person. And I have to be, I can't with this cat. Oh my God. Oh my God. Let me keep going. I am a very stressed person, right? And I have to be very careful not to let this stress take over me. And lately, since my burnout, I've been really careful about this. And I've been looking for techniques to calm me down, or at least slow me down, because I feel like that's my biggest problem. My mind is always so agitated and thinking about a million things at the same time. And if I don't pay attention to this, if I'm not aware of how agitated I am, I will cross my limits. That's how I got to a burnout. And I will take my mind to exhaustion, because I don't know how to stop myself from working. Like when I have a goal in mind, I don't know when to stop. And this week I was feeling a little bit anxious, and this is when I start looking for things that can slow me down and calm me down. And okay, this day something happened and I was really anxious and I was afraid that this would ruin my whole day, because there was a time in my life when any small inconvenience would ruin my day. I couldn't work anymore. I couldn't study anymore just because I was anxious or stressed because of one inconvenience. And I've been trying not to let this take over my whole mood and my emotions. And I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to focus on anything. And I had a lot of work to do that day. So I tried something. I looked for a playlist on YouTube. I love YouTube playlists for like instrumental or random lo-fi music. And I was looking for a playlist with slow and peaceful music. And I found one called Gentle Acoustics and Instrumentals for Spring. And I swear, 5 minutes later, my mind was completely back to normal. It is a playlist with a lot of like soft and gentle songs. And there are a million of those on YouTube. But the thing is, I started thinking about how much one playlist was able to change my whole mental state, you know? And then I started thinking about how much music affects me and how much it's able to change what my whole day is gonna look like. It's so crazy. Music affects the way I work out, the way I focus on things, the way I start and finish my day, you know? And I mean, I always tell people something, and this is so funny to me. When I was going through my burnout, there was a time during my burnout, because I don't know if you know, but a burnout is not like one isolated situation that you just crash out. No, a burnout happens prolonged, like it prolongs in time. And while I was going through a burnout, I remember that I spent weeks without listening to music. And let me explain to you why. I always tell people about this. Music is something that's so strong to me. Something that like it's something that gets to something in my heart. Like music makes me be in touch with myself and in touch with my emotions. And I remember that because I was going through a burnout, I was living in autopilot, you know, like modo automático, autopilot. And I didn't want to listen to music because listening to music meant that I was going to have to deal with my emotions. And I did not want to deal with my emotions during that time. And I remember I spent weeks without listening to music. Even during, like, even at the gym, I would listen to podcasts because I did not want to listen to music because I knew that if I stopped to listen to like my favorite songs, I would cry. I would crash out. I was sure that this was gonna happen. And then I went to therapy. A lot of things happened. And after I started recovering from my burnout, I started listening to music again. And that's when I noticed that I hadn't listened to music in a lot of days because I was afraid of my emotions. And listening to music always affects me in such a crazy way. This got me thinking about like other times when music has played a significant role in my emotions. And I've made a list of all the situations that I've noticed how much music changes my mental state and affects my brain, literally. So I have a list here. I will tell you about it. I hope this is making sense, you know? I feel like I'm not making a lot of sense, but I feel like this I feel like I'm not following a linear thought, but I hope it's making sense. Okay, first, I remembered the pandemic. During the pandemic, I was really into indie music and good vibes music, you know? And I created a playlist. I would listen to this playlist literally every day during the pandemic. And still, when I listen to it today, I can feel myself going back to the pandemic, which is not good. But the music in this the songs in this playlist, they make me feel like in such a specific way. They are all happy, good thoughts, good vibes music. And during the pandemic, I think this playlist literally kept my mood in a normal state, you know? I was so affected by the isolation, and this playlist literally saved my mental state. And because it's filled with happy songs and cute songs, it made such a difference in me. Until today, I have this playlist and I still listen to it whenever I want to feel good, and it immediately makes me feel good. I love it. Another example. A few months ago, I was having some trouble with my health, right? And with my self esteem when it came to my appearance. And I was feeling so low. Like I wasn't very interested at the gym. I didn't want to exercise. I wasn't feeling, usually I am a very, like, I take care of my appearance, I worry about it. And during this time, I just didn't care at all. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I feel like I haven't been in touch with my self-esteem lately. So I think I need to listen to divas again. Pop divas. And I noticed that I wasn't listening to pop divas in a long time. It had been a long time since I've listened to pop divas. And then I created a playlist only with pop music from women. And that's when I got into K pop. Like, suddenly I was listening to K pop, but okay. But I cannot tell you how much this playlist has affected my self esteem in a good way. Like, I feel like I'm myself again, just because I was listening to divas, to pop divas again. Oh my God. And then I became a fan of Tate McRae. I don't know if you know Tate McRae, but she's a new generation pop diva and K-pop and I don't know, like a lot of songs. Dochi is not a pop diva, she's different, but still, like I started listening to a lot of uh strong and a lot of women that are really proud of who they are, and this really affected me. And then I remembered a friend of mine said something on her stories, and I still remember what she said. This It got me thinking so much. She said that she started listening to female rappers, women that are rappers, women that sing rap, Brazilian women that sing rap. Lately, there have been a lot of female rappers in Brazil, and she said that listening to these women made her change her whole perspective on relationships, and that she was changing the way she thought about herself. She was changing, like this type of music made her change her whole perspective in relationships, just because she was listening to these women being such strong and defiant women, like women that challenge relationships the way they are today in society. And she said that because of these women, she realized how strong she is, and like how she was dealing with toxic relationships. And now she looks at them a different way because of this music, because of these songs, from female rappers. And I was so shocked by this because it's true. Listening to a certain type of music can literally change the way you think. This is so crazy to me. Like, am I making sense? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? How much music can affect your life so much that it can change your perspective on things. It can make you think about things that you had never thought before. And when she said that, I was so shocked because just listening to female rappers made her rethink all the romantic relationships of her life. That's so shocking. It's so crazy to me. But okay, let me move on to another topic. Another moment that I've noticed how much music changes me is how much classical music helps me focus. Whenever I have a day that I don't want to work, I don't want to study, but I need to, I put on classical music playlists on YouTube, and I can't tell you how much this helps me focus. If you go to YouTube right now and you look up dark academia music, dark academia playlist, and you will find a lot of videos with classical music. And I swear, when I press play, my brain immediately focuses, and then I can spend like 1 hour, 2 hours working nonstop, nonstop, nonstop. Nothing distracts me. I get into a flow, you know? I can't explain just because of classical music. And that's when I realized classical music makes me turn into a machine. Try it. You should try it. Okay, another another very clear example that I have of how much music really really gets to my heart is concerts. I am obsessed with concerts. Like, if I could, I would only spend money in concerts and festivals. It's such a good experience for me. I just love it. Like, I'm not a huge fan of parties, but concerts, oh my God, it's exactly the type of activity that I love. And I've had some concerts in my life that I've had moments where I stopped and I thought, oh my God, this is a magical experience. Like, I think the first one that I had this feeling was Ana Vitoria's concert. Ana Vitoria is a Brazilian duo. And I'm not kidding. I spent that whole concert crying. I just couldn't stop crying. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. Like, if you like this type of music and you've never gone to their concert, you should do it. You should do it eventually because it's a heavenly experience, you know? They are so sweet, so cute. The songs are so beautiful. I just couldn't stop crying. And that's when I thought, oh my God, oh my God, I want to have this feeling like forever. And I will never forget a tweet. It was a tweet or a TikTok, I don't know, that a guy said that he used to be a very religious person because at church he would have an emotional experience that he didn't have anywhere else. So he went to church to have that feeling, a spiritual feeling, you know? And then he grew up in church having this feeling in church, right? A spiritual feeling. And then he went to his first concert and then he realized that the spiritual feeling that he got at church was just because of the music. Like, he realized that that feeling that he thought was a spiritual feeling, it was just the feeling that he got when he was in a concert. And then he realized that that was a feeling that music like made him feel, you know? That live music, like watching a live performance, made him feel like he was having a spiritual awakening, you know? And that was so funny to me because when I am in a concert, like listening to songs that I really love, I have a feeling that I cannot explain. I hope someone relates to this because I know it's not an individual experience. So please tell me if you know what I'm talking about. Like, concerts give me a heavenly feeling that I cannot explain any more than this. Other two examples that I have of really strong emotions that I've had during a concert are Bruno Mars' concert was really good. It wasn't perfect, but it was really good. And I remember specifically during the song Locked Out of Heaven. You know that song? Because you make me feel like. I can't tell you how beautiful this song is live. It was the last song in his concert, and the lighting, the special effects were so beautiful, and everybody was singing together. That song was the most beautiful one in the whole concert, and he sang the classic music like Talking to the Moon, the song he has with Lady Gaga. But Locked Out of Heaven was a spiritual experience. I got goosebumps the whole song. It's probably my favorite song of his. And when I was listening to that song in that performance, I was thinking, oh my God, I want to have this feeling every day of my life. I swear, concerts do that to me. And another example that I have is Olivia Rodrigo's concert. I mean, these are the two international concerts that I've been to, and Olivia Rodrigo's concert was so good, so good. And during the sad songs, I cried too. And I thought, oh my God, this is the best moment of my life. It wasn't the best moment of my life, but I'm just trying to show you like the feeling that I get during a concert is like no other. I cannot put into words how much music gives me a feeling that I don't know. I don't know. It just really gets to me. And I remember when I was watching Building the Band. Do you, if you are a frequent listener, you know that I've talked about this reality TV show on Netflix called Building the Band, where they form bands, right? And if you watched the show, you know about season 4. You know the band season 4. They were the finalists of the show. And I swear, every time they sang a song on TV, on that show, I cried. I got chills the whole time they were singing, and I just couldn't stop myself from crying. I can't explain. And they weren't like, it didn't need to be a beautiful song. It didn't matter if it was a beautiful song or not. I would cry the whole performance. I don't know what happened to me. I just couldn't stop. Their music, their voices together, they made me feel so emotional. It's crazy. I feel like in another life, maybe I was a musician. Maybe I was an artist. I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain how much music does that to me, you know? It's crazy. And it's funny because usually in my routine, I pay more attention to the books I read, the TV shows that I watch, the movies that I watch. I don't pay a lot of attention to the music that I listen to, but when I really stop to think about it and consider it, I can see how much music is capable of changing like the way my brain works, you know? And that is amazing to me. So now I am trying to use music more consciously in my routine, like in my moods, to control how I feel, you know, to really affect my emotions and to control how my days will go by depending on the music that I listen to. And I feel like today I have a good emotional control, but whenever I feel like it's too overwhelming, you know, like sobrecarregante. This word doesn't exist in Portuguese, but overwhelming é algo que te sobrecarrega, sabe? Emocionalmente. And whenever I feel like my mind, my emotions are too overwhelming and I can't keep my emotions in control and I can't keep my thoughts in the right place, music does the job. Like, it's a strategy that helps a lot when you feel like you can't control your brain. Music does the job for you. Seriously, maybe we should just you should try this. Just let music do whatever it's supposed to do because music is meant to make you feel something. Like, let it do whatever it's supposed to do in your nervous system and the rest will happen naturally. It's been working so much for me. And when I don't have the strength to control my emotions, I just listen to music and let music do its job. And it's crazy. And I really want to know, like, have you ever stopped and thought about the effects that music has on you? And I would love to know, like, if you pay attention to that, if you use music intentionally to control your mood, to control your thoughts, to have a good day, you know, to help you throughout the day. Do you use music like that? Because lately I've been using this more consciously and it's been changing a lot of things in my life, you know. And if you have music recommendations, like for music styles and artists that you use to change your moods, I would love to know. I would love to know. And maybe I can bring another episode where I give you my recommendations, right? Because I have like types of music and playlists and artists specific for moods and emotions and whatever that I want to feel. So let me know if you want an episode where where I can talk about my music taste. I think it would be a nice episode. But yeah, I hope that this episode made sense. I know that my cat got tired. He wasn't interested, so he left. But I hope you stayed until the end. And that's it. I'll see you in the next one. And let me know if you like this type of topic and if you want me to bring that topic again soon. So, yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.